28th of April 1934. My mother was a school teacher and my father was first a baker and later, don't laugh, later he was a sailor. He became a sailor. And yeah, we lived near Vimmerby. Vimmerby is a small town, I think in the south of Sweden. And it was also the town where Astrid Lindgren was born. One day, I don't know how they found me, but some journalist knocked on the door, on my old rickety door, as you can see here, and asked me if I was Mrs. How did he call it? Longstocking. And I was thinking, what is this man talking about? But it seems at that time that there was a children's series, a quite popular children's series. I never heard about it. And they thought I had something to do with that. I was really wondering if maybe Karin is the second daughter of Astrid Lindgren, if she had something to do with it. Because Karin was for 3 years in the same class as me. We were naturally also at the same school. And I think we were not the best friends, but she liked me. She thought me a bit comical because my hair was always, standing to all sides. It still doesn't work. But that belongs to me, and my shoes were too big. My shoes are still too big because I like big shoes. Then my toes can wriggle around and that is all right. But I had not colored stockings and different stockings, definitely not. When that first journalist published his article, when that first article was published, the fat was in the fire. Hell broke loose, total madness. From all over the country they came. All over, grown-ups, enthusiastic, children, disappointed, because they saw me, just a normal woman, without pigtails, without hanging down stockings. My shoes were a bit big, but they were really disappointed. So I decided to buy a few of Pippi attributes. The hole I fell in after the series finished, I could fill up in the beginning with some courses, as I told you before. But life became very quiet and empty. Did I tell you that I worked as a freelance in Djurgården? How to say that in English? Animal farm for children. That is, I was a freelance there, but I had no men, no children. I was afraid, more or less, for people. Since the boys bullied me at school because of my red hair and my funny shoes and all that. I didn't really dare to start a commitment. I don't think it was. It's justice. You know, my mother died and then they bullied me at school. I don't think life gives lots of justice. But then, something totally different. My father moved north because he got a job up north, and I thought, I'm happy. Finished on this terrible school, so I went happily with him north. But there it was even worse. Därför att jag talade småländsk, vet du. I spoke Smolensk, that is South Swedish. And that they found strange, so they had to laugh and bully and pull my hair and laugh at me even more there. And then my father, who couldn't stay quiet after my mother died, I think he had to stay in movement, not to be confronted with his terrible pain, because he loved her very much. He became a sailor. He started to work as cook on a ship. And then I went to boarding school. And I really hated it there. I ran away often, and then at a certain time I really stayed away. You know, my father, I almost never saw him. And when he came, he said, "How do you get it in your head to be sent away from school? Come back." Things like that. She was a weak lady. She had a weak health, you know. And I heard them tell that after my birth, she became weaker and weaker. And the doctors didn't know what kind of illness she was having. And then she died. So, the funny thing is that I do remember more of my mother, her smell, the color she was wearing, her movements, than of my father. I only remember his big booming voice. "Come on, life has to go on, you know, be strong, move." My father died 10 years after my